Yesterday, the Union Cabinet, the newly expanded cabinet, met and took several decisions. One of the decisions were flashed on the television headlines yesterday and prominently featured on the newspaper front pages today. What is it? After the cabinet meeting, the Minister Narendra Singh Tomar announced that 1 lakh crore agricultural infrastructure fund will be extended to APMCs, what we call as mandis in popular language, agricultural produce market committees, which are government run agri markets. Well, the Tomar has went on to claim that this reveals the government's commitment to the strengthening of APMCs. Well, you are all aware that the farmers are agitating against the 3 farm laws which they believe would be a death knell to the government run APMCs. Well, the minister has claimed that this is our commitment. We are not here to dilute the APMCs. The finance minister in our budget speech also stated this, and the latest decision of the government of India is an endorsement of the government's policy of strengthening APMCs. But obviously, we all know that the 3 farm laws aim at discouraging the government-run APMCs and encouraging the private players. Gautam Adani-led big company has already entered into the food processing market, agri-business market. It is the leading agri-market player even today. Well, the criticism is that the farm laws are designed to benefit Adani type of entrepreneurs, big business houses who are entering into this massive agricultural produce market in India. It is estimated that the total value of the agricultural produce market in India is to the tune of the 18 lakh crores, and therefore the government run APMCs are being diluted to ensure that the private players will have a free play in the market world, in the agri market. Well, it is not just a criticism. Before Supreme Court stayed the farm laws, they were in operation for 6 months. During the 6 months, say according to the Samyukt Kisan Morcha, which is spearheading the peasant protest against the farm laws, during the 6-month period, the trade in the agricultural produce market committees run by government has actually come down drastically. So this only indicates that the farm laws intend to weaken the government run APMCs but not strengthen. Then how come the government of India has extended 1 lakh crore agricultural infrastructure fund to the APMCs? So this is precisely how the media is manipulated, how the message is manipulated. But what is the reality? The reality is this is not a new announcement at all, firstly. So this was an announcement which was made on May 15, 2020 as part of the Atmanirbharata package. As part of this package, last year May 15, Finance Minister announced 1 lakh crore agricultural infrastructure fund. But what is being done yesterday? Yesterday the Central Cabinet has revised the guidelines. When it was first announced in May 2020, the fund was accessible to the aggregators and startups in this sphere. Everybody knows Adani leads the space of aggregators. Well, today the revised guidelines say that this agricultural infrastructure fund will also be accessible to APMCs, self-help groups and farmer producers organization, state agencies involved in the agri-trade, etc., etc. So what is being done? It is not a new fund, it is not new allocation, it is not even a new scheme, but only guidelines revised. But how is it presented to the world? It is presented as a fresh allocation of 1 lakh crores. So this is the first fallacy behind it. I'll tell you the second fallacy. When we say agricultural infrastructure fund, we normally get a feeling that the government of India has set up a fund with an allocation of 1 lakh crore. But look at the allocation for this. In revised estimates of 2020-21, that is the last fiscal RE, the allocation for agricultural infrastructure fund was only 208 crores. The allocation for agricultural infrastructure fund in 2021 financial year is only 900 crores. Then where is this 1 lakh crore fund? Where did it come from? Well, it is not a fund actually. It is a loan facility. The government has nothing to do with this loan facility. It is the commercial banks which are entrusted with the responsibility to offer loans to the tune of 1 lakh crore under this head called Agricultural Infrastructure Fund. It is not even an expansion of loan facility. It is only under this head 1 lakh crore worth loans will be given. Then what will government give? Government will only pay an interest subvention of 3%. That means only in the interest government will bear 3% of the interest. Look at how it is presented as 1 lakh crore fund. It is not at all a fund. There is no 1 crore allocation. There is no 1 crore allocation. Forget about 1 crore. There is not even 1,000 crore allocation for this fund. It is only a loan facility extended by the commercial banks which they are anyhow doing. Only thing is under the new head they will give the loans. I will also tell you the third fallacy. Well, last year May this agricultural infrastructure fund was announced. Till March 2021 we have the data. So what is the total fund? 1 lakh crore. What is the total loan disbursed under this head? It is only rupees 3,241 crore. Well, some media reports estimate it over 4,300. Assuming that outer limit 4,300 crore. But where is 1 lakh crore and where is 4,000 crore? So actually the government is not giving any allocation. Government is only paying 3% of interest as part of the interest subvention. But even the loans were not disbursed. Only 3,241 crore worth loans were disbursed. Still we call it a 1 lakh crore agricultural infrastructure fund, that too for APMCs, and presented it as a commitment of the government of India for strengthening APMCs despite farm laws which actually give a greater say for the private players. So this is the fallacy behind the announcement of 1 lakh crore fund.